Well, the Yankees certainly have high expectations this year, and Vegas agrees. They have the highest over-under total in all of Major League Baseball, and they are the favorites to win the World Series, even though the season is only 2 games old. Joined now by the Yankees beat reporter for NJ.com and the Star Ledger, Brendan Kuty joins us once again. Good to have you in studio, man.
Thank you for having me here, Steve.
Well, it's the beginning of the baseball season and a lot to kind of digest. It just 2 games into the season, and sometimes people are already pulling their hair out after seeing at least today's game. But the Yankees start the season off with a really light schedule. 7 of their first 9 series are against teams that are expected to be bad. Could that actually put more pressure on them to win early?
Absolutely not. The Yankees are banged up right now. 5, 6 key guys are on the disabled list. You always want a soft portion of the schedule when you're playing well, when you're at full strength. Right now, missing Didi Gregorius, missing a lot of guys, Luis Severino, CC Sabathia, Aaron Hicks. You want to have this soft portion of the schedule right now when you're not at your best.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense. You'd like to see that early in the season as well to get yourself jump-started and go in the right direction. We didn't see a lot of names change on the Yankees lineup this year. Biggest offseason acquisition, James Paxton took the mound today. They spent a lot of money this offseason, though, locking up potential free agents. Should Brian Cashman get maybe a little bit more credit for maybe securing the future with some of the young guys?
He absolutely should. It wasn't his decision to not go after Bryce Harper, to not go after Manny Machado. Who wouldn't want either of those guys? 26 years old, superstars for the next 10 years. Just throw Howell Steinbrenner's wallets at these guys. But he did with what he could with what he had. He locked up Aaron Hicks for another 7 years. Aaron Hicks, though he's hurt right now, though he seems like he's chronically hurt, is a top 5 center fielder in the game. Luis Severino, he'll be around for the next 4-5 years. An ace. He's right now traded for Adam Ottavino. If you don't bring back Dellin Betances, Adam Ottavino slides into that Dellin Betances role. A lot of smart moves, a lot of savvy moves by a guy who didn't just have a piggy bank to break.
Yeah, well, we've seen what happens sometimes when you break the bank. Sometimes those guys don't work out. Sonny Gray is the latest one that comes to mind. It's no secret that last year the Yankees won this. They won 100 games based on what they did at the plate, and they broke the Major League record for home runs. However, it didn't exactly help them out in the postseason. They were outscored 20-4 games 3 and 4 against the Red Sox in the ALDS. So is it the right approach for them to once again say that we want to break the home run record?
Absolutely. Hit more home runs. It's the best possible outcome in baseball. You swing the bat once, the ball goes over the stands, there's no possibility of you getting out, you're scoring. Absolutely hit more home runs. That being said, they did address that a little bit in signing DJ LeMahieu this offseason. He's a high-contact guy, a guy who can hit the ball all over the field, a guy who sprays it. He's someone who's going to kind of cut down on those strikeouts. Troy Tulowitzki, not a high strikeout guy. They've addressed it in some ways, but no, hit more home runs. Home runs are the best possible thing you can do.
Yeah, I get it. I appreciate that. But 211 strikeouts for Giancarlo Stanton is not exactly a good thing.
Not a good thing, but 38 home runs is a great thing.
So if you balance those two, which would you rather have? Would you rather have the guy that hits, 25 home runs and strikes out less, or a 38 home run guy that strikes out more than 200 times?
I want 38 home runs because when it comes to Giancarlo Stanton, he also hit 260, 270 off my head last year. The ceiling's higher for him. 2 years before this, he saw his strikeout rates falling. The Yankees thought that trend would continue. They hope it continues again. Today, you saw him with better plate discipline. You saw him watch some things. You saw him take a couple walks. Maybe this is the start of something.
Maybe it is. But I tell you what I wouldn't want to do is meet Giancarlo Stanton in an alley.
No.
Because I don't think that would be, it wouldn't be a fun time. As a matter of fact, you posted a Twitter poll. Who would you least like to punch in the face? I would imagine because you're expecting retribution. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Luke Voit. 56% of your viewers said that they would rather punch themselves in the face.
Right. Well, I mean, these pythons, they're kind of like busting out of my jacket here. But I still wouldn't want to fight any of those guys. They're monsters. They're mild-mannered. But yeah, they're figures that you wouldn't want to see. Dark figures approaching you. Just it would be scary. You'd get torn limb from limb.
Right. So you agree with the viewers? 56% of the viewers who said that they'd just rather beat themselves up.
Punch myself on the face on your show right now.
Right. Really, it turned into like Fight Club here. It'd be the old school Fight Club. All right. Speaking of Aaron Judge, he says that he's changed his swing a little bit this year. He's reduced his leg kick. He's kind of gone from a one-handed release to kind of like a two-handed follow-through on this. What was his reasoning behind changing his swing?
Well, we were just talking about all those strikeouts between Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez. Well, Judge is doing something to address those strikeouts. That shortened leg kick is coming with 2 strikes. It tries to give him better bat control, allows him to see the ball longer, gives him better timing. The two-handed swing, follow through,
right.
Not letting go with the one hand, that allows you to control the bat through the zone even longer. So the idea is that he can recognize pitches better, he can get a piece of pitches better, and he's not swinging straight through them. So this is a cerebral move by a guy who's enormous, by a monster getting smarter.
Right. Think about it. You don't get extra runs if you hit it over 500 feet.
No.
All you need, an 80% power for Aaron Judge, still gets it over the wall at Yankee Stadium.
Of course, yeah. Allen Iverson, his layups were fine. He didn't have to dunk everything. He was a great player. Aaron Judge, if he can just hit a 400-foot home run instead of a 500-foot home run, maybe it cuts down on his strikeouts. Maybe you see an MVP caliber season from 2 years ago. Maybe you see a generational type season. Would you be shocked for him to hit 65, 70 home runs? I don't think you would.
Yeah, he's definitely got it in him, no doubt about it, if he gets the at-bats. We still have a battle for first base here, Luke Voit, Greg Bird. And in game 1 of the season, Yankees fans were booing Greg Bird. Shouldn't Yankees fans want to cheer both of these guys? I mean, it's not a zero-sum game. We get it that everybody wants Luke Voit to be the starting first baseman, but Greg Bird is still going to help this team, and you want to bump this guy up.
Steve, you sound way too logical right now. This is smart baseball thinking from the Bronx. Smart fans, passionate fans, they don't let their brains get in the way of their mouths.
Of course.
When they enter that turnstile. They're going to go nuts, and I think that's what makes New York, New York. Go crazy. Boo whoever you want. You don't like a story I write? Boo me! Boo me
Have
as
you
loud
been
as you
booed
can.
at the stadium?
No, but other writers have booed me before. I mean, I deserve it.
You get booed up in the press box.
It just, I can't.
You know, I mean,
I walk down the street, sometimes I get booed.
It's a rough way to go. Safe to say that one of those guys are going to be moved by the deadline.
I don't think so. I think that if you're going to try to move one of those guys by the deadline, it means that one of them's not playing well. And what are you really going to get for him? You've seen Greg Bird get hurt. The Yankees didn't have first base insurance. You don't want to just rid yourself of that kind of insurance. So maybe you could trade him because you have DJ LeMahieu, who is a great defender at second base, at third base, learning first base. It makes him more expendable. But I don't necessarily know that you're trading him by the deadline because also you're going to have to see who needs a first baseman.
Well, everybody wants power these days. But speaking of guys that we might not be seeing anymore, Jacoby Ellsbury's contract is an absolute albatross. I mean, we barely saw him in spring training. And you really have to wonder, with all of the names in the outfield, Aaron Hicks is going to get healthy. You know Clint Frazier is going to be moved up and promoted at some point. Are we ever going to see Jacoby Ellsbury in the Bronx again?
Let's start here. For everyone who hates Jacoby Ellsbury, if you got the contract that he has put in front of you, you take it and you take all the hate. That being said, I don't see him ever playing for the Yankees again. There's just too much in his way. He hasn't played for too long, and he keeps getting hurt. There's no reason to think that he's going to be healthy enough again. Whenever we've asked Aaron Boone about this, a timetable, a picture as to when he can come even close to playing again, Boone just kicks the can because he has to, because there's no way of knowing what he can handle.
Carl Pavano all over again. You can read all of his stories on NJ.com and in the Star Ledger, and follow him on Twitter for some funny Twitter polls. Brendan Kuty, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
All right, back after this.